Zelazny might have a run here. He pulls up. 2 laps to go at Auto Club Speedway. What a run this has been. 5 cars out front just dancing around for the lead. Salas back to the bottom. Honeycutt stuck up top. Slide job out of Salas. Crossover out of Honeycutt.
23 showing a big run here. He does.
You see Salas starting to cover it up. He goes up the racetrack. Honeycutt's clear of them both. He shoves it up in front of the 23, gets himself loose. It'll be white flag this time by. Salas down low. Zelazny looking for a hole. Side by side, 3 wide, coffee in it. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go. Brought to you by Whiplash Sim Cams. Who is going to win the Luke's Playhouse 200? Honeycutt controlling the race. Coffee in second. Tires are aging. Zelazny off the top rope. Got a little bit free. He's going to crash with lights. And yes, wall there. Who knows? Honeycutt, though, leading the race. Can Coffee get a run? He's going to send it. He hits him. Big bump and run. Coffee's going to try and get away. Can Salas get there? Coffee's going to crash. Salas is going to crash. Watch Nick Lights here to the stripe. Salas is going to do it with no front bumper.
Unbelievable.
Wow. There's the white flag from Barney the Flagman. 1 lap to go at Long Beach. White flag is out, brought to you by Whiplash Sim Cams.
Yeah, can Rayleigh hold him off? He looked like he's started to gap Cantonio just ever so slightly. Got about half of a second. It's been hovering right around there. Oh, Cantonio really pushing. He's sideways out of turn number 1. But Rayleigh just keeping that car pointed in the right direction. Nice and smooth, able to keep it going. It's going to be tough. Antonio knows that there's not very many chances, even if you can get close enough to him to make a move. So we'll see as they come through 6 and 7, head toward turn 8 onto the backstretch.
Deeper in the field, nothing changing. Lap traffic ahead. It's Kevin Peak and Bradley Alvis right in front of our race leaders down East Seaside Way. And to turn number 9 for the final time. Lap traffic in the way, and Rayleigh goes for it on Peak. He sends it into turn 9. He knows he can't wait. He knows he can't give an opportunity to Kevin Cantonio. Cantonio's going to take it anyway. Ships it into the hairpin, and Rayleigh's going to get away. Thomas Rayleigh is going to be a race winner in the North American Racing League. A last lap bump and run wasn't enough. This man wins at Long Beach.
Wow, what a finish coming through that hairpin. I thought they were all going to wad it up. We had lap traffic in there, staying in there.
Just over 8 years ago, Pit Stop TV broadcast the very first race in what has become the Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series. Fast forward through a global pandemic and years of advancements in iRacing and in our broadcasts, and here we are right back at the track where it all started back in 2018, Knoxville Raceway. Welcome to Pit Stop TV in the virtual Knoxville, Iowa. I'm Andrew Cardinale IV. Zach Myrtles will be alongside here shortly, and it's a pleasure to join you for coverage of the Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series here in 2026. Tonight's coverage from the Sprint Car capital of the world is brought to you by the DSCCS, Pit Stop TV, and by Whiplash Simcams. Drivers making their final few laps in practice, and I really do mean final. We only have a 30-second time limit left on this practice session, so it is literally down to the final few moments of this warm-up hot lap practice session. It's going to be a lot of fun, but let's talk about this racetrack, Knoxville, Iowa, Knoxville Raceway rather. Boy, this place is a lot of fun. Flat, half mile. It is a real fast racetrack, and NASCAR trucks came here at one point in time, but I really do think this racetrack is made for sprint cars, and we're going to show that here this evening. The start finish line is a little farther down the front straightaway, down towards turn 1, which means a slider that might win through 3 and 4 at a different track might not work here, but that already might be the case anyways. This is such a wide set of corners. I mean, the radius of the corners is so wide, it takes a while to set up a move and to make a move work. So we'll see what these guys could do here this evening as qualifying begins behind us. Of course, no points or anything to really talk about. The big thing is watching Tanner Pettit to see if he has got what it takes versus the rest of these guys. I mean, Tanner Pettit has, he's proven he's got what it takes. The last couple of weeks, he's won the last 2 races, those being at I-55 and Lucas Oil Speedway. So, qualifying beginning. We'll watch along with these drivers. Here is Parker Annis in the number 5. And I want to start off with this onboard camera because this is not a tilted camera. I checked actually before we went live. This camera is straight up and down when the car is stationary, but when it gets loaded up and in these corners like this, you can see all the angle it puts in the camera, the, I guess, natural banking in the car, if you will, a bit of angle just leaning that left side over and pitching the right side up, and it's really cool just how far over it leans. Annis, first lap out, was 5th quick. Now, well, he's staying 5th as Julian Valadez will go fastest. Dustin Sargent will usurp that number 4, though. Valadez drops, and there's a look at the number 77 of Dustin Sargent. Nick Larry back on the racetrack this evening in the 43. There he is into turns 1 and 2. Josh Whiteman goes up highest. Now, there is a big number of drivers here this evening. We are going to see, I think, one of the strongest fields we've seen in quite some time. Caden Berry going fastest now in qualifying. You saw Jesse Dacus briefly there in the number 27, but here is Berry. And now Tanner Pettit right back to the top. Aiden Forster right behind him. Blake Carrick will jump up high as well. That's going to be 2nd, now 3rd place for Carrick. It's 1st now for Ethan Winter in the number 9. There he is on the car as the number 39, but scored as the 9. Just a couple of cars left to go. Trayton Sander, one of them. Let's see what Sander can do across the line. Lap 1 for him will put him 31st, with a lot of work to do. 36 cars signed in this evening. Qualifying will come to a close. That will send us into our first heat race of the evening. And let's talk about these heat races because, of course, we've had a couple of weeks to now get used to this format. The format is the same as it's been. 22 cars will make the feature. That means through these heats, we are looking to pick up 18 drivers total from the up to 6 heat races. That would be 3 drivers if we have 6 different heat races. The goal, again, we're getting up to 18 drivers through the heats. We will take 4 from the consolations. And so the numbers based on entries will vary a little bit. Zach Murdos, I see you're getting in the session here. You'll be able to tell us here shortly how many heats there are. But the goal, again, 18 from the heats, 4 from the consolations. However that has to be structured within how many sessions have to be run, iRacing will automatically calculate that. Sometimes we take 5 out of heats 1 and 2 and 4 out of heats 3 and 4, for example. So based on 36 cars, we have 9 here this evening. in Heat 1. I'm going to say we have 4 heats, educated guess, and that should, I believe, yes, it should be 5-5-4-4 for the heats. That in mind, let's take a look at the first grid of the evening. On pole will be Ethan Winter in that number 9 car, leading us to the green here at Knoxville. Hayden Berry for his right shoulder. Look at that I rating for each of those drivers. We do have an Aussie in here, Ethan Winter from Australia, from down under. It's, I think, early morning for them. Aiden Stull will line up in row number 2. Julian Valadez over his right shoulder. A little further back, Derek Patetti. We've seen a lot of Patetti alongside these guys, but we have not seen Jackson Sutton yet, I don't think, as Vinny Sansoni and Scott Thomason will join row number 4 with Cody Downard at the back of heat number 1. Zach Murtis, I can welcome you into the booth now finally, and it's good to have you here, of course. These guys had a week away after I-55, then ran last week at Lucas Oil. They run here tonight at Knoxville. They're back off next week before I believe we go to Kokomo, which is a completely different racetrack to Knoxville, but it's good to be here. I was just fed some warm bread and butter by my fiance Kayla. That was fantastic, and I'm just ready for racing.
I think we're all ready for racing, especially in Knoxville. Knoxville's got a stacked history for dirt racing. Lots and lots of dirt racing. They have the Knoxville Nationals. So much goes on here. But tonight, we got sprint cars.
And here we go. Early green flag in turn 4, but we are racing down to turn number 1. Heat 1 underway at Knoxville Raceway. And already Ethan Winter, a big lead. Caden Berry well within the transfer spots for now. We'll, of course, keep an eye on the transfer battle, but right now, second and third. Oh! Berry in the wall. He got spooked, now gets hit. Caden Berry in massive trouble down the back straightaway. And that's going to be an automatic ticket to the consies.
Look at that right front. It's completely disconnected on that race car. He could keep going if he wanted to, but he wouldn't get very far.
No, that's a meatball flag, I would think, right? I mean, that is, again, a sentence to the consolation races for Berry in the number 12. Immediately, the Caden Berry fan club not happy, just got fed the right rear, and then, unfortunately, you know, that car behind can't do a whole lot of evasive action, that number 71 that hit him after the fact. Really, if you want to place blame on this, it's going to come down to the car that hit him initially, and that is going to be Aiden Stull. Just a misplaced slide job. It just did not work out well.
The trials and tribulations of dirt racing, as they say.
And there was a bit of netcode there, but they were likely, not guaranteed, but likely to make contact anyway. It's just unfortunate that it happened here in the heat race. That said, I know it's very frustrating, but there is still time for Berry to make the feature and still get a good result out of tonight, get a decent payday. As he's actually getting back on the racetrack, so that car is at least somewhat repaired, so there's a chance he's still on the lead lap. He's going to tag back into the field, albeit with some damage, as these guys come back around to get the green flag in a moment. And Heat 1 will get back underway. Let's watch this from the fan cam. Of course, these vantage points meant to make you feel like you're at the racetrack, and boy, these guys are ripping around here. One thing we've not looked at yet, Zach, is the weather conditions for this race. 68 degrees in the air, 61 on track. Of course, we don't worry too much about track temp in dirt racing. The winds, though, a little high, 13 miles per hour out of the southwest, and the humidity is controllable for sure. So a good day for virtual racing here at Knoxville Raceway. And of course, we are in the daytime. We don't typically run dirt racing during the daytime, but I like it. It's a bit of a change up from what we usually see under the lights. This is a good change as we go on board with Jackson Sutton behind Julian Valadez. Valadez runs down through the slick, slides up. Again, the battle tentatively is going to be for 5th. Patetti is all on his own for the transfer, so with 2 laps to go here, Zach, it's not too eventful for that spot.
Not really. It seems to have leveled off quite a bit, just ripping around the outside line, just around the berm, just keeping the wheels underneath you. You can see Berry all the way in the back. He has not made up any spots, so You are quite correct, Andrew. It is going to be a quick trip to Concy as white flags in the air presented by Whiplash Sim Cams. One more time around in heat number 1. Stool goes quickest that time around. And as they rip back to the flag stand, it's going to be a very easy victory for Winter in the 9. Stool runs second. Valadez, Sutton, Teddy, and Thompson tentatively should be your transfers.
Thomason would not. It should be the top 5.
Top 5?
Yes, should be the top 5. Again, we're going for 18, right? Spread across 4 heats because we had 36 cars sign in. We had 9 there in heat 1. And of course, 36 divided by 9 is 4. So that should mean that we have to take 5, 5, 4, and 4. That would total up to 18. Then we would take 4 from our B main later on after we... I think we'll probably have a C. I don't know that we'll have a D here tonight, but hey, let's go ahead and meet the heat number 2 field this evening. And on pole, how about driver number 24? I think all eyes have to be on him this evening. He's won the last 2, and he's up front here for heat number 1 alongside world-class driver Aiden Forster. Back in row 2, it'll be Josh Whiteman to the inside, Jacob Harris outside, Anthony Villagran in row number 3 alongside Anthony Woodhull, and your back 3, Rylan Gray, Dean Reynolds. Good to see him back in a field on iRacing, and Drew Neal gonna wrap up the back end of the field. Dean Reynolds, when we used to cover the BRP iRacing series, Reynolds was a mainstay over there, ran every week in those Monday night races with Big Block Modified, so good to see Dean back out here. It's been a while since I've seen his name on the sim, and boy, that is a pretty cool paint scheme as well. We don't do best in show here, Zach, for these races, but honestly, I think we maybe should.
I won't disagree with you.
You've seen some good ones. I think, what was it, last week or the race prior, we saw the RC car from Toy Story, and that was a pretty cool one. I mean, these guys get creative with the paint schemes, whether it's from trading paints or their own team painter or even painting it themselves. These guys have some creative paint schemes sometimes, so some good-looking ones, by the way, on the front row. Teammates there from Tanner Pettit Racing, Tanner Pettit and Aiden Forster. They've got to be the favorites, right, Zach? We've seen them up front each of the first 2 rounds that we've covered with the series, and Pettit has won them both.
That he has. It was a 1-2-3 just a week ago. Yeah, it was just a week ago for these guys. I mean, there has got to be a bit of a bounty on them, I'll say, to get their cars to the front of the field and beat these Tanner Pettit Racing cars. Andrew, we've got them lined up, we've got them racked, stacked, and ready to roll here through turns 3 and 4. We're going to get the green flag, and heat number 2 is underway at Knoxville.
Single file on the top side already. This track is well broken in, and that top lane is already dominant. The top 5 getting away single file. The rest of these guys fan out, but through lap number 1, it's all Tanner Pettit out front. The transfer battle, tentatively, is Anthony Villagran and Anthony Woodhull, the Tonys, who are going at it. On board, Anthony Woodhull, he's in 6th. You see them swapping spots ahead. I've wanted to use this vantage point for a while. I just keep forgetting. This is off the left side of the seat. You can see the headrest and everything. This is a pretty cool spot to watch. You can see the hands moving. You can hang off the left side of the car. This is a cool camera.
It's a really cool camera. It's one that's used frequently, I believe, as Villagran goes up into the 4th spot. That puts Harris on the cut line. Not a lot of laps remaining.
Harris back ahead of Villagran for now. And side by side they run. Turn 3, slide job up from the 22. He gets in front of the 10. The 10 drops back down. The 10 is Harris. He scores the 33 on the scoring pylon, but he's the 10 on the race car. Slider from him. He's going to check up Villagran. Here comes Anthony Woodhull on the inside. It'll be 2 laps to go. A full mile of racing left in heat number 2 this time by.
Woodhull gets a good run, but he's not clear. Has to give way to the car to the outside. Villagran dives it back down to the bottom. I don't know, Andrew. I don't know how much that can be done. It's going to have to be a big old slider into turn 3 and 4.
Big slider there from Villagran. On board with him now. Slide job returned from Woodhull. And flip perspective off the right side now of Villagran. He gets back ahead of Woodhull, but has he got it to the line? I don't know. Woodhull drag race. It'll be Villagran for 5th. So Pettit, Forster, Whiteman, they move on to the top 3. Then Harris and Villagran will move on into the feature. Anthony Woodhull, the first that will have to go through the concedes, along with Rylan Gray, Dean Reynolds, and Drew Neal. Drew Neal sporting that TSR sticker. Tony Stewart Racing has got a presence, of course, as always, in iRacing, dirt racing, and good to see a handful of them here this evening. Zach, here is heat number 3 on deck.
They are heat number 3, ready to roll here at Knoxville. We've got 9 cars, Blake Carrick to lead them to the green with Kenny Hoffman to his outside. In row number 2, you'll find Dustin Sargent and Casey Simons to try and get their cars transferred into the race. Yancey Beasley will be in the 5th position with Parker Annis to his outside. Trey Schmidt in the 17 in the 7th spot with Tayton Sander to his outside in the 8th spot. Then right behind them in the 9th position, row number 5, you'll find Caden Perkins, actually a familiar face from the BRB Sundance Pro Series. He is going to try to dip his hand into some 410 sprint cars.
Yes, sir. Good to see Caden here this evening. Wasn't sure if he would make it into one of these or not, but I saw earlier today that he was signing up for the league on iRacing and getting into the server. So good to see Caden Perkins here tonight. Admittedly, Zach, he was dead last in practice from what I saw, but it's all a learning process. And, certainly I think in these cars, the 410 is a wild beast. It's not easy to drive. Give it some time, let him figure out the setup game, and maybe even find some of the setups from these guys that are ahead of him from some of their setup shops, and I'm sure he will get up to pace. You got to remember, this is open setup racing, and there is a massive pace difference from first in an open setup race to last in a fixed setup race. It's crazy. So I would say even last from an open setup race to first in a fixed setup race is a huge difference. So here we go. Heat 3 on deck, and we are taking 4 out of this heat, I do believe. At least it should be. So watch out for that. Green flag on the way. Heat 3 underway. Three wide, turn 3, up top, that is Hoffman. In the middle is Sargent. Down low, I believe, is Yancey Beasley. They get it sorted. 2 wide still for 2nd and 3rd.
Still side by side. Now getting back to single file.
Here comes Hoffman on the inside.
3 and 4. Oh, a big step up right there.
Oh, he tried to bottom it, did not work. There is no grip down there in the slick. You've got to run up top right now.
Putting the right rear as close to the wall as they possibly can to try and find any grip possible.
Hoffman was in the wall big time there. Out of turn 2. In the pit lane already, Caden Perkins, Tayton Sander, both in the pits. And it looks like out of this heat race, that'll make it top 4 with a few more rather. Casey Simons, what a wild ride out of turn number 2. The wing is back on it, but my goodness, that was something.
He can't turn the car. Has to tow immediately.
Racing with Yancey Beasley here. Contact out of turn 2 into the wall. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
That was vicious.
That'll get your clothes clean. That looked like a spin cycle at a washing machine. That was crazy.
Vicious hit.
One more look for Simons. A little bit of net code, but wow. And to go back a little bit farther, perhaps, I want to see what happened with Caden Perkins. So here is that off the start of the race. Whatever it is that may have happened.
Well, if he can get that car back out on track, there's potential for him to pick up some spots.
Let's see, this is Perkins. Lap 1, a checkup there, and just nowhere for him to go up and onto his side. So some big damage there for Perkins on the opening lap, and he is out of this heat race. He'll have to go through the consolation races then. And the track is already pretty tore up, Zach. It's going to be hard for anybody to make progress in any of these following heats or consolation races. Until that track reset in the warm-up, it's going to be tough for anybody to find grip anywhere but the top lane of the racetrack, and even that's going to wear out eventually. Green flag back out halfway in heat number 3. Slide job already, my goodness. Kenny Hoffman right to work.
Yeah, you saw it on the start of the race, Andrew. Kenny Hoffman was able to take advantage of what was almost a jump start from the second place position. Now they're going to sit there duking it out. That's Sargent and Hoffman. Sargent back in front, Hoffman back down to the bottom, seeing what he can make work.
Big
Slides
slider
back
again.
up the racetrack. Sargent back to the bottom.
Really quick, the battle for fourth, it has blown up. Trey Schmidt has got that spot. He's ahead of Yancey Beasley in fifth. That should stay the same. We'll see, though. Lap and a half to go for second and third, and Hoffman might be able to go for the lead. Maybe even Sargent. White flag this time by in heat number 3.
They're trading positions through slide jobs, but they're still catching the leader all the way down to the bottom. Hoffman trying to see if he can go for the race lead. He's going to send it. Big send. He gets it, but is he going to keep it? Off turn number 4, drag race. Carrick gets it by just under a tenth of a second.
Wow.
Hoffman goes quickest, and they're flipping at the end.
The acrobatics there after the end of the race. Hoffman skyward at the end of heat number 3. Wow, what a race that was. And here we go. Heat 4 going to get on deck. Again, we should be taking 4 here if our math is right. And sending them into the feature of the rest. We'll go through tonight's consolation ladder. I believe that should be a C into a B. Zach, you can confirm. But here is heat number 4.
Heat 4 lining up on the grid, Andrew. You've got Ryan Avila and Jesse Dawkins to his outside. Gunnar Harris and Nick Larry are lining up in row number 2. Just behind them, you'll find Matthew Rogers and Noah Bowman. And then right behind them, row number 4, Ryan Schmidt, or Sheed. Yes, Sheed and Randy Shreves in Scheit, thank you, in the 8th spot. And then right behind them, it's Glenn Reinhardt in the 9th position. One driver I'm surprised that is not here tonight is Richard Wolsifer, though. Was expecting to see him in one of these races, but we've still got some BRB Sundance Pro Series representation from Caden Perkins.
Yeah, it's good to see Caden here. I think he's kind of a dirt racing fan by trade, so yeah, it's good to see Caden out here tonight. Hopefully we see some more guys. I know there has been some involvement from teammates of Scott Fritz in the past. Maybe we'll get Scott Fritz in here at some point, who knows, but man, 410 sprint cars are a wild thing. Hard to handle. We can talk about them. Here's the graphic. 410 sprint car, stock block pushrod V8 engine, putting out about 900 horsepower, just over 700 foot-pounds of torque, bias ply Hoosier dirt tires from 8 inches to 17 inches of tire stagger. That's a 9-inch spread, and well, you can see the wheelbase, width, and everything else there. All the details that you could ever want on a World of Outlaws 410 sprint car. Of course, it is a World of Outlaws car that was scanned for iRacing. I'm sure there's maybe slight differences, track to track, series to series, but I'd imagine it's probably a very consistent formula across the board for 410 sprint cars. A 410 is a 410 as we get ready for heat number 4. Here we go, final heat race on the night. Ryan Avila going to lead us around to the green into the restart zone. We are racing. Heat 4 underway at Knoxville. You know, Zach, I might still like the sound of a 2003 NASCAR Cup car a little bit better, but this is a pretty close second.
Very close as they run. And caution is out.
Ryan Scheit in trouble. That's the number 7 as he's scored. Looks like maybe a 10 on the wing, but let's go back and see what happened here to Ryan on the start. Hey, sporting the Ultimate Dirt TV logo there on the wing. Good to see that logo. I know they have gone through a couple of transformations in their years, and man, just netcode biting Ryan there. I can't even fault the driver on the inside. I know we've had a few netcode incidents tonight, and you know, mostly I would still say the driver on the inside is at fault. This time, no, I'm not going to say that at all. I think Glenn Reinhardt was doing everything right on the inside, and unfortunately, netcode just bit him.
Unfortunately, netcode seems to be biting a couple of drivers tonight.
These guys are just going so fast, and one thing you have to understand about netcode is iRacing, the program, is trying to predict where cars are going to be at all times. So it's not ever going to be perfect. The sim is trying to do its best guess of calculating based on trajectory and every bit of velocity, every bit of physics that goes into it, trying to predict where each car is going to be at any given time. There's obviously latency in getting that between the server and your computer, and from your computer to the server, and then from the server out to other computers. So it's a very tricky thing to get right. There's a lot involved. It's not as easy as it sounds. Green flag, back out. Heat number 4 back underway. Big slide job out of Gunnar Harris.
He took a big shot right there into turn number 2. Was able to slot in line. He pulls away. There's a wrecking behind. Big upside down in turns 3 and 4.
I think Nick Larry.
Right there.
I think Nick Larry might have just gone out of the park here. Check this out.
To the Shadow Realm.
This is out of the park if I've ever seen it. Big slider out of the 26, just forces him up. And yeah, his car clipped out of the racetrack, and it just sent him straight back to the pit lane. That's terribly unfortunate for Larry. We've seen a lot of him the last couple of weeks. How about Gunnar Harris, though? That is a guy I have really noticed these last couple of weeks here in this series. He is a lot of fun to watch. He's going for second here in the heat.
Big old send down into turn 1 as Rogers goes quickest in that 4th place position. He's looking at taking on the 27 right in front of him, taps the wall. Keeps that 410 sprint car rolling in the right direction. He's down to the inside. Big old slider into turn 1. Slider for the lead, slider for 3rd. Neither are going to pan out.
It was Matthew Rogers that got into Nick Larry a little while ago. He is now in a transfer spot. Noah Bowman will be the first car behind, then Glenn Reinhardt and Randy Shreves. Not really a battle for the transfer right now. You see Rogers on his own. Ryan Avila, though, up ahead, about to close out heat race number 4 with a battle for second that looks like it's going to go to Gunnar Harris. So down the front, straightaway, checkered flag for Ryan Avila in heat number 4. Massive hit there for Gunnar Harris after the line, but it's all fine and dandy. We are on to consolation racing here tonight at Knoxville Raceway. What a special place to race. You mentioned the history behind this racetrack. Obviously, it's got the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum out of turn number 2. This is probably the mecca of sprint car racing. It's very special to be broadcasting any form of sprint car racing here tonight. We've got 15 cars lined up for the C main. 6 should be transferring into the B, and then we'll take 4 out of the B. So let's go through your starting grid for our C main here tonight at Knoxville. Anthony Woodhull on pole. Parker Annis will start over his right shoulder. Third and fourth tonight, Randy Shreves and Vinny Sansone in the number 80. Row number 3 gives us Rylan Gray and Casey Simons. And to complete your first half of the field, Zach Noah Bowman alongside Cody Downard in the number 3.
Rolling the outside half, or the second half at least, you've got Dean Reynolds and Caden Perkins. And then 11th and 12th on the grid, you'll find Nick Larry, Caden Berry, who is looking to recover from his heat race fumble. Right behind them in the 13th and the 14th starting positions, you'll find Drew Neal and Tayton Sander. And then to round out your 16-car field, actually 15, Ryan Scheid is going to be in that 15th position. No 16th car. So 15 drivers will start. Now this is something that's confusing me, Andrew. It's been perplexing me the last couple of weeks, I'll say. So on your screen, ladies and gentlemen, you see where it says C main. Now when I go into the iRacing.com sim, I now no longer see a C main. I only see a B main. The grid lineup that we just read off to you, it shows as B main. Then there's A main and feature. So I am kerfuffled.
Let me open my own sim and take a look here. So results. Let's see. This is. You know what, Zach? No, that's actually fair. That's fair. That's a ticket to go to iRacing. Somebody needs to submit that to iRacing. Yeah, that is definitely a ticket to submit to iRacing support. We're uncovering things every day here about iRacing, but here we go. We'll turn the music down and turn the engines up. C main action ready to go. Anthony Woodhull getting grid, and maybe a bit of a, oh, this start might have to be called back.
It was a perplexing start, I'll say. The leader went to go, didn't go. Second place went to go, didn't go.
I think there was confusion because the pole sitter Anthony Woodhull did not grid. I think there was confusion about who would actually start the race. Second launched, and the driver that filled in first waited. I believe that was Randy Shreves that filled that spot in. He is now out ahead. Rylan Gray is now second with Parker Annis in third. Huh, that was a little bit interesting. Top 6 will still transfer on. Noah Bowman gets passed up by Cody Downard. That's the battle for 6th currently, as everybody tries to settle in.
And Whittle has actually removed himself from the race, so it's going to play a factor in how these guys try to make their names known in this C main.
Having great battles all across the racetrack. Downard is falling back. Sander moving up as Shreves comes under fire from Rylan Gray, who goes all the way up in turn number 1. Fires back down the racetrack. It'll be halfway this time by, and we've got a new leader in the C main. Rylan Gray to the point. Randy Shreves second. Parker Annis third. And across the line to complete the first half of this race. There's a look at these guys into turn 1. They are moving around here. Still a battle for the race lead.
And only 13 cars took to the grid for the C main. Caden Perkins was the only other driver that did not take to the grid. And one car has lost their wing, Andrew. Who was that? I think the wing is back. I saw them still on the racetrack.
Yeah, it might have been a temporary damage rendering from iRacing, but here's what you need to know. This field is now Gray, Shreves, Annis, Simons, Bowman, and Sansoni moving on. There you see Rylan Gray riding away with this lead in C-Main action. He is driving away from Randy Shreves and everybody else. Randy dives into turn 3 that time. The battle for the transfer isn't much of a battle right now at all, but it could be soon. Cody Downer trying to catch up.
3 wide behind him. Barry all the way down to the bottom. Sending a slider up through the field. He's up to 10th. He needs 4 more spots in a lap, Andrew. I don't think it's going to happen. Caden Berry, I'm sure, is going to be kicking himself after this one.
Oh, he won't be kicking himself. I think he's got fair reason to be frustrated with how that heat race went. And he just put him behind the 8 ball all night long. He's got to run up to 9th, but it's not going to be enough. The C-Main will go to Rylan Gray. Annis, Shreves, Bowman, Simons, and Sansoni will move on. Downard the first out. Larry, Sander, and Barry will follow, along with Reynolds, Neal, Scheidt, Woodhull, and Perkins out of the race this evening. So we'll send 6 on into tonight's feature event. I'm trying to make sure I got the right flags up. A very complicated system, Zach, I'll tell you what. Here we go. We've got ourselves a B main on tap, Zach, and the first half of the field looks like this, with Jackson Sutton on pole in car number 23. Second place, how about the 33? Jacob Harris will line up underneath the 20, or sorry, the outside of the 23. Back in row number 2, how about Trey Schmidt and Matthew Rogers? Derek Patetti will complete the top 5 alongside Anthony Villagran. And they are the first 2 out as of the start of this race. Again, we'll transfer 4 in. The 4 starting in transfer spots are Sutton, Harris, Schmidt, and Rogers. Yancey Beasley will grid up in 7th, Zach, and to complete your top half, Glenn Reinhardt from 8th.
Rolling off behind them in the 9th spot, you've got Scott Thomason with Rylan Gray to the outside. Right behind them in the 11th and 12th position, row number 6, you've got Parker Annis and Randy Shreves to make row number 6. Right behind them, Noah Bowman and Casey Simons. And then to round out your 16-car field, you have got Vinny Sansone with no 16th car, actually. So once again, only 15 cars lining up for this B main event. You've got your transfers out of the C into the B. And from what I just heard from Race Control, they're taking top 10 to the feature.
How does that work? Hang on,
I'm gonna saying, Andrew.
I'm gonna put
this
because
is why the math that keeps confusing me.
I know I knew how it at least used to work. Maybe things have changed, but
so if you go over to rules,
I don't know how it's.
And there it shows Heat 1. 3 to feature, 3 to feature, 3, 3, 3, 3. And then 6 from the C, 8 from the B, 10 to the feature. See, and it skips the A main too. There's no A main on there, but we saw A main listed on the result sheet. This is why I got so perplexed.
iRacing definitely has better...
That's what I was saying.
They definitely need to fix some of that. But I can tell you, it used to work the way I've been explaining the last 3 weeks. Now I see what you're seeing in the session, and they have certainly changed things. I'll talk with Brody more about it later on, because I don't want to keep spewing the wrong thing out. If iRacing has changed that procedure, I went away from dirt racing for a while, and now we're back. Here we go. Green flag. What I do know is we've got a B-main on the racetrack, 12 laps. Let's go racing. Oh, big accident down the back straightaway. No caution. There it is. Big accident. I think about 6, 7, maybe 5 cars. I'm not sure. There's a car without his front wing. That is Casey Simons. And that's
that front wing put right back on.
About going to take care of the back of the field. Let's check this out. This is the slow crawl down through turns 3 and 4 to the start of the race. So for those of you watching that are iRacing Dirt Pros, I gotta ask if the procedure has changed, because again, I know how it used to work because I had to set up sessions with the old format, and it seems maybe it's changed and nobody told me. Well, that was a big accident on the back straight. I'm not even sure how that started yet still. I think it started with Beasley in the 11. Yeah, he got contact with a couple other cars, the 41 of Patetti, I think, and a couple more. I see the 80 involved. I was saying, son, I mean, that is just a big mess out of turn 2. From high above. There was a lot going on. There's honestly too much there for us to figure out in the short time we have in these cautions.
These short races definitely do not allow us to review them in depth as much as we would like to.
We're already back green.
They're going to send them back to the green flag.
All over the place in second. If we are to believe what we've been told about the top 10, the transfer battle is hot as one car has no wing. Oh my gosh, that was Glenn Reinhardt. The wing has come back, but Noah Bowman, if the transfer is 10, he would be your 10th car in. So what it seems like, Zach, is I 100% I know, unless it's a fever dream and I skipped a few years, I don't know. I know iRacing used to adjust how many came out of the heats to preserve how many would transfer out of the heats into the feature. That was the logic behind iRacing transfers for a long time. Is what is in the wall. Up skyward goes Randy Shreves. How is he back on 4 wheels? I don't know, and he's still in a transfer spot. But it seems what iRacing has done, unbeknownst to me, at some point in time, is changed it so that it will make up, if you don't use all the heat races, it will make up those transfer spots from the consolations if you have consolations. That's good to know. Nobody told Andrew.
Contingent on a full field, as they say.
Battle here, Jacob Harris, Trey Schmidt, 4th and 5th. In case you're wondering, right, I throw to Zach sometimes to ask him about what's going on in the session, because he is in the session where he can pop up the menu. I'll pop it up for a second. There is this menu in the sim, but we don't want to have that on the broadcast. That doesn't look right. That looks yucky. So we run it without that. I'm controlling the cameras, the broadcast, all of it, and talking about it, so I can't pop that up while the race is going on and stuff and see those details. But it does seem, Zach, now that I see what you're seeing, I can understand a whole lot better. 4 laps to go here. It's B-main action. Again, we are told it'll be the top 10 going on into the feature. That'll be Sutton, Rogers, Villagran, Harris, Schmidt, Simons, Bowman, Annis, Shreves, and Sansoni at the moment. And there's really not a battle for 10th. Glenn Reinhardt is well down the order right now.
Full second behind Sansone, so no real battle going on for that transfer spot. I'm sticking down.
Yeah, it'll be 2 laps to go this time by the start-finish line. We're on board with Glenn Reinhardt. You see what he sees, more or less, as he is trying to move up into a transfer position. He's 1 spot out of going into the feature. Vinny Sansone, the car ahead. He's just not making enough time to get there. You see the gap bottom right now of your screen. A little over a second. It varies a little bit, as there's the white flag brought to you by Whiplash Simcams for Matthew Rogers and everybody else out here. Rogers will get to the start-finish line first. He will win the B-Main. It'll be Sutton over Villagran, then Schmidt, Bowman, Harris, Simons, Annis, Shreves, Sansoni. Your top 10. They'll come across the line here in just a moment. There he goes. He will move on to the feature race, or so we are told, Zach, with a 10-car transfer. I don't like that they've changed the way that it seems to be transferring drivers in. I had a grasp on the old format, and I don't like that. But anyways, warm-up coming up, Zach. These guys have a moment to kind of reset the racetrack and run it back in a little bit. Let's take a look then at what's upcoming for us here at Pit Stop TV tomorrow night. How about this? Pro GT3 drivers on track at the one and only Virginia International Raceway. That is a special, special place to me and to so many sports car racing fans. It's a big difference from what we do here on Wednesdays, but I like that. I like that we have stock cars Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We go dirt racing Wednesday, and then sports cars on Friday, or on Thursday rather. I really like that transition. It's very, very fun to me. So, yeah, sports cars on track, VIR tomorrow. It's the pro drivers for round number 6 of their season. Then Monday, the All-Star race for the NORA Retro Cup Series at Charlotte Motor Speedway. That'll be special. We've got some extra power in the cars, and Zach, that's your birthday. Happy birthday, early birthday. It sounds like you're not going to be with us celebrating your birthday or something like that. I mean, imagine that.
Imagine. Who'd have thought?
Imagine you don't want to sit here behind a screen talking about pixel cars for an evening. No, I do hope you have a happy birthday there, Zach. And do you have any big plans?
Not yet. I'll let you know.
Maybe we can enter you in a car.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we do. Maybe that's how we get. Maybe that's how we get Josh Conover not to hate you for missing it. Maybe we just find a way to enter you in the open.
Unfortunately, I found out from Josh Conover that there is a I-rating cap for NORA, and I well exceed that I-rating cap.
Get a load of this guy. He can't race because he's too good. Well, anyways, VIR the next couple of Thursdays. Pro round 6 this week. AM round 7 next week. With the All-Star race for NORA Retro Cup Series action in the middle. Next up for these guys here on Wednesdays, that should be Kokomo in a couple of weeks. We do not have a race next week, April the 29th. I have an appointment at a tattoo shop, Zach. It is racing related, but I'm not telling anybody. It's going to be cool. That's all I can tell you. As we are into our race session, that warm-up session really just for formality's sake and to run the track in a little bit and get it race ready for these 35 laps coming up. Again, to look over the Whiplash Simcams race details, unlimited green-white checkers should we need them. We saw a couple used last night at New Hampshire, so who knows with these guys. 35 laps, though, the distance. That translates, by the way, to roughly 28 kilometers, about 17 and a half miles for tonight's race. For reference, that is just over a tenth of what we did last night in the BRB race at New Hampshire. Anyways, here we go. Cars on the grid, 22 of them to meet. Zach, here is row number 1. Ethan Winter from Down Under will be going for tonight's race win with Tanner Pettit, the defending winner the last couple of races, over his right shoulder. Blake Carrick, Ryan Avila, that's row number 2, ahead of Aiden Stoll and Aiden Forster. The row of Aidens there, row number 3. Kenny Hoffman and Gunnar Harris, row number 4, ahead of Julian Valadez and Josh Whiteman.
Going outside the top 10, you'll find Dustin Sargent and Jesse Dawkins to his outside. And then Matthew Rogers and Jackson Sutton round out row number 7. Row number 8 on the starting grid, you'll find Anthony Villagran and Trey Schmidt. And then right behind them in row number 9, you'll find Jacob Harris and Casey Simons. And then to round out 20 cars on the field. Parker Annis and Noah Bowman.
Let's not forget Randy Shreves, Vinny Sansoni, the final row of entries here. 22 cars in tonight's feature event. That is the formula. Going to be a lot of fun. This racetrack, again, super, super fast here at Knoxville Raceway. A bunch of fun to run. Doesn't matter if it's a NASCAR truck, for example, or a 410 sprint car, a 305, a 360. Any brand of late model, a modified. It doesn't matter what car it is. I really do like this racetrack. It's super wide. Could do a lot of racing here, as we're about to set them around for 35 laps here this evening. $100 to win. We have seen some chaos the last couple of rounds at Peevely and Wheatland. These guys getting a little bit handsy with one another, moving each other out of the way. You can't really do that in sprint cars. Let's hope tonight is a clean race here from Knoxville Raceway. Around to the start zone for one Ethan Winter. He'll be leading us to the green. Round number 3 of our coverage with DSCCS is green from Knoxville. Here we go. Kind of an underwhelming start, Zach. Everybody clamored to the inside through 1 and 2. They realized quickly that is not the way to go.
Let's figure your line out pretty quick because we've got one car on the wall, multiple contacts on the front straightaway into turn number 1, and it's a big old smash.
Oh, crashing the leaders!
The leaders!
The leaders in trouble after the caution. What is going on here? Tanner Pettit just ran smack in the back of Ethan Winter after the caution had come out. And Winter's car, I saw the wing pop off. Trying to find him here. There he is. It's back on, Zach, but I'd imagine there's still some damage. Alignment damage, what have you, to the number 39. That's a dramatic beginning to tonight's race. So let's go back to the start. This is where they all went right down to the bottom. I guess that's the way to go in 1 and 2, maybe, but let's see what happened to Matthew Rogers and company back here, lap number 2. Into turn 1. There was some funny business off of turn 2, lap 1. And then down the front stretch, let's see what happens here. A little bit of contact ahead. Up skyward goes Rogers in the 26, and that was a heck of a tumble.
A couple of cars going for a tumble back there, and
check this out.
Definitely could have been a lot worse than it was. Woo.
That should have come with a seasickness warning. That was pretty dramatic there for Rogers for sure. And then we saw the moment after the caution here with Winter, but let's see it again. They went back down low, lined up nose to tail, but out of turn 2, the caution's out. Winter checks up, and Pettit just doesn't. Obviously not intentional, but that is big. And Winters
just wasn't heads up enough there.
Yeah, Winters in the pit lane. He might be done. He's Sutton, Villagran, and then Pettit's now the leader. That is a real shame. I would have liked to have seen the battle between Winter and Pettit, but I don't think we're going to now. Again, you know, it's obvious to me at least that certainly was not intentional. Regardless, it still happened.
Well, as they say, Andrew, the show must go on, and it will unfortunately go on with.
Is that what they say?
Other drivers.
Is that what they say, Zach?
They say something.
Well, there you see the field of 20 remaining sprint cars lining up single file to go back green this time. Out of turn 4, green flag is back out here in Knoxville. And look at that guy up top. That is, I believe, Ryan Avila way up there, making headway on the top of the racetrack. Oh, yeah, no. Avila's down low. That's Forster way up top in the lime green. Pettit and Carrick went up there in 3 and 4. I am surprised these guys are making the inside work at all, but Forster rim riding right to the boards.
Ripping the top of the racetrack. Might be just bouncing off the wall right there. Carrick was hitting every single bump he could through turn 4. Pettit goes quickest, though.
It is crazy the way these guys run these races. I would like to see, maybe we got to figure this out at some point. I would like to see driver cams with these guys to see what they're actually doing and seeing, because it is just crazy. So you can go all the way up there right on the cushion and just hold it so perfectly. It looks like they're jostling around and can barely hang on to the race car. And that's probably true to a degree, Zach, but they make it look so easy.
Making it look easy and it actually being easy are two totally different things.
And this racetrack is worn out already, top to bottom. That's why you see them going all the way down low and all the way up top. I am surprised at how worn out this track already is. I thought we had the reset there for the warm-up session. I can't believe we would have worn it in this far in those few minutes. Tanner Pettit, though, leading battle for second. Carrick outside. Forster inside. Forster slide job at his teammate. Carrick falls back to third. That's a cool shot. The car right over the right rear wheel. Let's see it again down here in 3 and 4. Carrick sliding around the bottom. Forster up top. Into the berm goes Carrick. That checks him up. Forster gets ahead. There are battles all throughout. Battles all throughout the field, Zach. 10 laps complete this time by.
Forster trying to chase down his teammate and Pettit, closing in a little bit down the front straightaway, losing it into turn number 1. There's got to be a lot of give and a lot of take, Andrew, and I'll tell you, one of the reasons that I stay away from dirt racing so often is because these guys, they got some sort of gentleman's agreement of how they like to run, because if you've got no spotters, no mirrors, it's hard to tell who is where and who is doing what, how close someone is behind you, where the closing rate is. I mean, it takes some skill. It takes a lot of skill, and it's not like road racing where you at least have your mirrors. You got nothing telling you where anybody is on the racetrack. You just got to anticipate what the car is going to do in front of you and find a way around him without him sliding up into you on corner exit.
Car slow to the inside. That is Jackson Sutton. Hopefully this does not bring a caution out. He is parking it down in the exit of the pit lane. So Sutton will join Jacob Harris in the pits out of this race. No caution out of that, thankfully. We continue on. Top 3, they are all teammates at Tanner Pettit Racing. Pettit leading, Forster second. Contact nearly with Carrick in third. Fourth place is Gunnar Harris. He's trying to run these guys down. And Forster to the inside. Forster might have it down here in turn 1. He does. Pettit right back to the inside, but Forster taking over. Lap 16. He's in the wall. Nearly contact between Forster and Pettit. Here comes Carrick. He goes through the middle. Pettit back to the lead. Maybe not for long. These guys are going crazy. 3 teammates.
Carrick took a big swing down to the bottom. He rotated center corner. He's doing it again. Getting a middle exit. All the way down to the bottom is Pettit. He's trying to hang on to it. That top line wearing in. Look at Carrick. Takes another big swing through the middle. Tried to stick it 3 wide. Couldn't make it happen. And the caution is out.
For I believe the second time this evening. It's Julian Valadez in trouble back here. I've seen his name all across the pavement short track world, but not too much on the dirt side. Let's see what happened to him here. He's already got some damage to that number 71. And down here in 1 and 2, just gets hit from behind. The number 2 on his inside just gets into him, spins him around, and backs it into the wall there briefly. No front wing left on that car. Certainly suboptimal there for Valadez, but the field continues on here under caution right at halfway. That is about perfect timing, I'd say.
I'm sorry, you said what?
Just past halfway.
I thought I heard something totally different. I had driver audio and race control playing at the same time, and it redirected my attention there.
Well, we are just past halfway. I want to give a big thank you to our partners here at Pit Stop TV. Whiplash Simcams, MXWraps.com, ATVO, Murder Esports, CC's Business, the North American Racing League, Whiplash Creative, and TZO Designs helping us out week in, week out, day in, day out. As it'll be Forster, Carrick, and Pettit, your top three back around to the stripe. I'm excited to see what Gunnar Harris can do on this restart, Zach, as the caution has been extended a little bit longer here.
Thankfully, caution laps don't count.
I'll tell you what, we've got just a moment here. We missed it last time at Lucas Oil. Let's go ahead. Let's each nominate a driver rapid fire. Who you got for driver of the day?
Gunnar Harris. I'd have to take Gunnar Harris. You talked about him earlier. He's done some really good stuff, and I think he's a good shot for a driver of the day. I think if I'm just going to make an easy second pick, I'd have to say Tanner Pettit. Led the race, still sitting in third. He's got two teammates in front of him. He's dominated the races so far. Good pick, in my opinion.
Harrison fourth, Pettit there in third. Let's get this restart in, and then I'll make my picks here in a second. Green flag, we're racing into the second half here at Knoxville. Three different lines from the three leaders that time through 3 and 4. That's a special sight to see. Forster still leading. I'm going to make part of this easy, and I'm going to go ahead and take Forster. I like what he's doing here, bringing the fight to his teammate. He's up a handful of spots. I'm going to grab him for driver of the day here today. So mark in Aiden Forster as a driver we'll be looking at for that vote. And if I'm looking through the rest of the field here, I see 10 spots for Simons, 10 spots for Sargent. I'm going to go Casey Simons. He just picked up another one. He was trying to pick up more. Casey Simons, he was in the pit lane, I believe. I think it was in the B main, maybe. Thought he might be out of it. He's back in it and climbing his way through. And there is a caution out for Josh Whiteman, but Casey Simons will be your other driver for driver of the day. That vote will go up in a moment, Zach. Let's see what happened here, though, for Josh Whiteman. Oh, the 15 was in trouble ahead.
Left Whiteman nowhere to go, really.
Was that the actual 15? Yes, it was. So that is going to be Noah Bowman. I like Dean Reynolds' enthusiasm out in the YouTube chat, nominating himself for driver of the day. I'll take it into account. Well, here is Noah Bowman, turns 3 and 4, just up into the wall, over the bumps there on the cushion, and lost control. He also hit the 12 there. I guess 2 12s, Whiteman and another of them. That was Trey Schmidt, the other car involved. Julian Valadez has just come back into the pit lane under this caution, it looks like. So more drivers working on getting repairs made to their race cars as our leaders work around turns 1 and 2 here under caution. Still a good ways to go in this feature race. A lot can happen, a lot can change in the laps remaining, Zach. And the way Forster, Carrick, and Pettit have been racing, if I'm Gunnar Harris, I'm licking my chops. I just need to get one good restart, hang with them for a couple laps, and then take a shot at these guys.
Plenty of chances to make it happen. You just have to find your footing. Although, you don't really have a lot of time to do that, so the quicker you can do it, the better.
Oh yeah, you got to be right up on it. There's no more wasting time here in this race. We will have 13 to go when we go back green. On the loud pedal. That is the idea here. You got to hold it as wide open as you can, as smooth as you can. Let's see what Gunnar Harris can do from 4th spot. Let's go ahead. Let's ride on board with him here for this restart. Let's go ahead and take this view for now. We'll switch around a little bit. Restart coming, 13 to go. Gunnar Harris back on the loud pedal, chasing those Tanner Pettit Racing teammates. And Harris going to slide up in 3 and 4 and hang on to that 4th spot for now. He has company, though. Aiden Stahl to the inside for that position. And Stahl takes a stab Slide job out of the 72. He's up in the wall, though. And that'll check him up. So Harris now can focus back up on the leaders. Oh, and he nearly got Carrick. He's going to slide down to the inside of 1 and 2. Carrick way up high. Gunner down low. Great name, too. Gunner Harris. That is a fantastic name. 10 to go this time by. Aiden Forster leading the way. Harris gets ahead to third. He's racing heads up with Carrick. No, in the wall! Harris, no!
2 more cars get collected in that, and that's going to be a big time
gosh.
with 10 laps to go. And Harris just slipping over and over.
That's now a wingless. That's a USAC car.
I was going to say, that's just a non-wing sprint car right there. We can roll with that.
He's ready for the first non-wing race in a month or so. I believe it is right back here at Knoxville. Boy, that was a wild ride. This is halfway through it already for Gunnar Harris, but man, into the wall there. Hit again by Shreves in the 56. Unbelievable ride for Gunnar Harris, and he was up there battling in the top 3, and then all of a sudden in some massive, massive trouble here. You see off the wall into Carrick's right rear. Gets collected by a handful of cars. Oh, man. That is so unfortunate. It's right on board.
That moment right there. Yeah, that's an onboard that I wouldn't want to be a part of. Oh my goodness.
Gosh. Might take more than 301 days to be cleared after that, by the way. Congratulations, Zach, on being cleared. No, congratulations on being cleared to get back to racing here soon. I know, obviously, you've got to keep wraps on certain things, but it sounds like you're making a move to get back behind the wheel of a race car again soon. So, best of luck in those ventures, and you can always sponsor Zach Murtis. Zach, where can they go?
You can always go to Zach Murtis on Instagram or Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Lots of good places to follow along, and then you can also send me an email. MurtisRacing102@gmail.com. That's MurtisRacing102@gmail.com. Heck, I'll give you my phone number if you want to talk to me. There's a lot of great sponsorship opportunities and some great races coming up with some really good media attention potentially.
And we are getting ready to go racing once again here in this feature event. 9 laps to go when we go back green. Fan cam restart. Here we go. To the top side goes Aiden Forster. Side-by-side teammates. The top 5 now. Tanner Pettit Racing has got a stranglehold here on Wednesday nights.
That they do. And their stranglehold continues. Forster ripping the top line. Pettit back down to the bottom, trying to see if he can make it work. Hoffman has joined the fight as Carrick goes back by for the 3rd spot. They're still side by side, though, for that 3rd spot. Ripping the fence almost in the wall is Pettit. Not Pettit. Forster and Carrick. And that 20 car just has a stranglehold on that top line, Andrew. I don't know if the bottom is going to be effective.
You can see just how glazed over the racetrack is from that turn 1 shot. Watch it here again. Down the front stretch. You can see just how shiny the racetrack is. All of that shine is rubbered up dirt that is super slick to try and drive on with these treaded tires. They just don't grip the dirt at all. And you end up spinning your tires more than anything. As it is the top 5 positions for Tanner Pettit Racing. But how about Casey Simons continuing to drive through this field, Zach? He started down at 18th. He's up for driver of the day. This guy should absolutely be a consideration. He has picked up, what, 12 positions? 12, 13 spots? This is huge for Casey Simons. He's now right behind the top 5 drivers that are all Tanner Pettit Racing. He's the first non-TPR entry from what I can tell.
He's done a fantastic job to get that car up towards the front of the field. And heck, he may pick up a couple of more spots as we've still got racing left to run. Pettit still ripping that bottom line. He gets it on corner entry, gets clear of his teammate, and then loses it Going back through, Carrick has found himself back up here as well. Villa is up to the 4th spot.
And here we go, 2 to go. Popsicle sticks, 1 mile left here at Knoxville. Aiden Forster leading. Tanner Pettit trying to go 3 for 3.
Can he do it? Forster gets a little out of shape up on the top line. Pettit back down to the bottom. Gets the lead.
Oh,
is
Forster!
around. He's down. Stop the air, presented by Whiplash Cams.
It was a great save from Forster, but I think he just lost the race right there. He stumbled in turn 4, stumbles again down the backstretch, and sure enough, Tanner Pettit drives past his teammate and will win his 3rd straight here on Wednesday evenings. Tanner Pettit, another $100. He wins at Knoxville Raceway over teammates Aiden Forster, Blake Carrick, Ryan Avila, and Kenny Hoffman. How about Tanner Pettit? That was Forster's race to lose, and boy, howdy did he lose the race.
I'm in disbelief, to be perfectly honest.
That
He had
was
solid momentum on the top side.
unexpected for sure. Very, very unexpected. But the 24, Tanner Pettit going to park it on the front stretch here at Knoxville Raceway, right alongside Forster and Carrick. Forster already escaped. He's already out of the car. I think disbelief overwhelming the driver of the 20 car right now. I certainly would be in the disbelief. I think you still are, Zach. That has got to be so painful.
Just a little bit.
So painful. Let's go ahead and
I
check through the unofficial race results here in just a moment. We, of course, know that Tanner Pettit won this thing. Forster went second, but we'll see where everybody else finished in these 35 laps here at Knoxville Raceway. Here's the unofficial results. Tanner Pettit, Aiden Forster, Blake Carrick, your podium drivers. We'll be talking to each of those 3. Ryan Avila, 4th place. Kenny Hoffman, Casey Simons come in right behind. I still think Casey Simons deserves the driver of the day nod. So, in my opinion, vote for the 10 car. A lot of votes so far for Aiden Forster, but he lost it right there at the end, Zach. You'll be talking to him in just a moment. 7th place, Anthony Villagrán. He had a rough ride to get here as well. Same with Vinny Sansone. I mean, a lot of spots made up by these guys. Noah Bowman hangs on with a damaged race car, and Julian Valadez grabs himself a top 10.
Just outside the top 10, Josh Whiteman ends up getting to the 11th spot with Parker Annis in that 12th position. Aiden Stool, wasn't expecting him to be in that 13th spot. Figured he'd be a little bit further up. Jesse Dacus in the 14th position. Dustin Sargent, 15th. Gunnar Harris, hate to see it. He was running up towards the front of the field. 10 laps down on the day in the 16th spot. Randy Shreves right behind him, 10 laps down. Then Jacob Harris ends up 12 laps down in the 18th position. Trey Schmidt and Jackson Sutton are going to be your top 20 on the day.
2 more on the field. Winter and Rogers both out early there at the opening lap, or so I guess it was turn 2 of lap 2. Regardless, early exit for them. Hate to see that for Winter too. Pole sitter had the pole position here to start this race off and just about out first. Well, let's go ahead and talk to our top 3 then. Tanner Pettit, third race in a row. We had the one off week, but Tanner, you just cannot be stopped, it seems like. Even when it looks like it's going to be your teammate Forster to the line first, he stumbles, you're right there to take advantage. And I know some might say, oh, that's luck, but you had to be in the right spot to take advantage of that when it happened.
Yeah, no doubt. I was making the bottom work pretty good there at the end, and I was kind of just being patient and kind of figured with a couple laps to go it was going to be close, but I didn't think I'd quite have enough. I'd kind of needed a mistake out of the 20 car, and luckily for me, he ended up making that mistake on the curb, which is, it's super treacherous up there. It's almost bound to happen. Toward the bottom was just consistent enough to where I was able to hold good pace and put myself in the right position there.
It was a fantastic race, I felt like, here at Knoxville. It definitely showed you guys have it going on right now at CPR. What do you guys have that these other guys don't? As far as the setups, the practice, I mean, what is it? What is the, I guess you can't tell us exactly what the secret sauce is, but what exactly is going on that you guys are so much faster?
Really just chemistry and teamwork. We run exactly what's sold on my website, and anybody's able to go buy it for themselves, and luckily we're able to just put good runs together. I think Ethan Winter would have been a factor there. I apologize to him. He lifted really soon after yellow, and I didn't quite have enough time to check up. But all in all, it was a really good race for the team, and I'm proud of how the guys ran.
That was going to be my next question, pretty much. What happened there at the start of the race, that first caution with Ethan Winter? We saw the checkup of the caution from him, and obviously, it wasn't intentional for you to hit him there on the back end, but what did you see from your perspective?
Well, I got a really good start on him. I planned on going to the bottom in 1 and 2, and the top in 3 and 4, and he obviously knew the same thing and went to the same area, and I was really just right on his bumper. And right as soon as I saw the yellow flag up, I looked up to make sure it was a yellow flag, and by the time I looked back down at my screen, he was already off the gas checking up, and I had no time to check up myself. Even guys behind me were kind of encroaching there after I watched the replay. So I apologize to him. Obviously, it was not intentional by any means, but yeah, that's what happened on that first lap.
And Tanner, I've been on iRacing since 2016. I was here when Dirt was added to the sim in 2017. I knew how heat races worked for a long time, and it seems like they've changed. We had a large span of time in between covering dirt racing originally back in like 2018, 2019, and covering it now here in 2026. To me, it seems like things have changed as far as how entries, I guess, are made up when there aren't enough entries to, I guess, use all the heat races, if that makes sense. Because I've been saying for the last 3 weeks now that in the heats, we would basically be taking more drivers from the heats to make up that we aren't running all 6. Or I hope you're following. It seems like now we're making up those drivers from the consies instead. When did that change?
I'm not really sure. It kind of just depends on car count. I think it varies a little bit week to week. I think DSCCS did pulled 5 heats before. It just kind of depends. Maybe 4 heats. I'm not 100% sure on the full format, but definitely changed the track a little bit. I thought it'd be a little bit more hooked up tonight, but sure wasn't the case. It was definitely dead slick out there. Made for a really good surface for all of us, though. Provided 2 lines of racing, and can't thank Brody enough for that.
There you go, Tanner Pettit, 14 laps led today. Congratulations to you on the win. Maybe we'll be talking to you again in a couple of weeks at Kokomo.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I'd also like to shout out Jimmy P. Mac Tools, 1425 Photography, CDib Cinematography, Trackside Collective, Blake Carrick Racing, SimRap Market, all the guys on my team, anybody who supports the website, you guys for putting on the broadcast. This is all a blast. Thank you, guys.
All right, good to have you here, Tanner. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Another $100 to Tanner Pettit here this evening. Zach gets it done over Aiden Forster. I'd imagine he is not the happiest of campers currently.
I would assume not. Aiden Forster was leading more than half the race. Just about half the race. 16 laps on the day. Aiden, you had an amazing shot to win it there. What happened there at the end that costed you that win with about 2 laps to go?
Yeah, we had a really good car. We drove up through the field there, and man, I felt really good in that middle part of the race. We made a lot of good decisions there, get ourselves into the lead, and pretty much just take control of it, and that's what we did. And yeah, I just came down to late race yellow, and I felt like we got a decent restart. And yeah, I just knew that I was watching the relative, and Tanner really wasn't gaining. He was just kind of 3 tenths back, 2 tenths back, and I knew that if I just didn't make a mistake and just brought it home in one piece, we would have got the win. Just made a little bit of a mistake there and gave it up. But it happens. Part of racing. Sucks to lose it because of something I did, but it's all right. It happens. And happy for Tanner. TPR got 1, 2, 3. And yeah, this one sucks a little bit to lose it that late from driver error, but what do you do?
Absolutely. There are just not many things that you can do all the time. You just have to give your best as much as you can, 100%. And sometimes you step over that limit and it costs you a little bit. Now, the 3 of you were running up at the front of the field, running different lines. Tanner's talked about it. You guys run just about the same stuff. Maybe a few minor differences in between on your driving styles, but you know, when you've got 2 teammates running up at the front of the field on the same stuff that you are, does it elevate your competition level in any way, or make you want to try to drive a little bit harder to beat those teammates of yours?
Yeah, it definitely makes it tough since we're on very similar stuff, and everybody in TPR knows how to drive, so that makes it tough as it is. So once again, I'm happy that TPR was able to get a 1, 2, 3. We've been killing it lately with all the leagues getting 1, 2, 3. So proud of those guys for blocking it out. I think we got a 1, 2, 3, 4. So even better yet. So like I said, it sucks that we lost it there at the end of driver error. But like I said earlier, what do you do? We're trying our best to get every inch of the racetrack, and just took a little bit too much there and got on the curb, and that was it.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on your 2nd place finish on the night. I know you were looking for 1 spot more, but hey, there's always next race, especially with how much you guys are ripping these podium finishes.
Yeah, exactly. We'll be back for the next one. Hopefully we can click off one of these. I feel like we've been one of the best cars every week. It just, not all the puzzle pieces have lined up perfect. So we'll keep digging. We'll get one eventually, but we'll just keep the good runs coming, and hopefully we can get us one.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations once again for your second place finish. Hopefully we'll be talking to you again soon.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, I got to thank Tanner Pettit, most importantly, at TPR. He puts in a lot of time to help the whole team compete at this level. Also, can't thank Jimmy P. Mac Tools, 1425 Photography, Ace Up Some Sports, C Cinematography, Trackside Collective, Blake Carrick Racing, SimRap Market. It's everybody that supports us. We appreciate it a lot.
Absolutely. Second place finisher on the day, Aiden Forrester. Andrew, I know he was looking for more, but we've also got our third place finisher standing by.
Well,
ready
and
to
check
talk
out
with us now.
check out the screen too here, Zach. Aiden Forrester.
Oh, yeah?
I went ahead and edited the vote just a moment or two early. Congratulations, you're today's driver of the day as well. So I know it's not the win that you wanted and probably deserved with a couple laps to go, but hey, congrats on a solid race.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
And he comes home second place over a couple more teammates, three more teammates actually. Blake Carrick, Ryan Avila, and Kenny Hoffman. From what I can tell, they got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's rare. That's something only Roush Fenway could have done in the old days in the NASCAR Cup Series. Let's take a look here and talk with our third place driver, Blake Carrick. And Blake, that was definitely a pretty scary race between you guys. I mean, slide job after crossover after slide job after crossover. You guys mixing the lead around. What was it like in the car?
It was great. Track was great. It was fun. I don't know if I got into Gunner there, but if I did, sorry. But
I'm not the final word on this, but I think it was all fair between the two of you guys. Obviously, Gunner brought the heat to you guys, too. I mean, TPR dominating this race 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but Gunner kind of got in there a little bit. Is that maybe something you guys have on your radar for the next race at Kokomo?
no, you just get to race in there like all of us, and we just slow each other down, and it just allows people to get to us. But our cars have been really good thanks to Tanner. So
I know, obviously, that you can't tell us the secret sauce and the setups. Maybe you don't even know. I know Tanner obviously is putting in a bunch of work, but what is it like, I guess, to drive one of these setups versus a fixed set or any other open set? Because, look, man, I'm not trying to just blow you guys up, but you are dominating the series right now, and you make it look easy.
that's a big difference. We probably wouldn't be making mains if we weren't on Tanner's stuff. So
Fair enough. Does it feel like it's elevating you guys as drivers?
yeah. I mean, I think iRacing's huge. Like, setup's a very big part compared to real life. Like, drivers, I think, feel like are more. To where iRacing is a lot setup-wise.
Hey, Blake, congratulations. Good to talk to you after all that, and hopefully we're talking to you again soon.
Yeah.
Blake Carrick with a third place effort here, and yeah, I mean, the TPR 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm not trying to just, for lack of a better term, I guess I won't use it. I'm not trying to just suck up or anything, but genuinely, Zach, they are running the show right now, making it look easy. Frankly, if I was anybody else in the field, if I'm not on one of those setups, I would want to be on one.
I want to be on one too. These guys are absolutely ripping and dominating over the course of the season so far. We're only 3 races in, and I'm sure the points totals are racking up for them.
There are no points, Zach. It's just go out, race each week. There are no points to worry about. Forget that. Don't even worry about it. But Tanner Pettit, 3 wins straight since we picked up coverage with these guys back at I-55 on April the 1st. So, again, these guys are not in action next week. I do have the dates penciled in over here on my calendar. Next up for these guys, we are racing winged cars again. That'll be at Kokomo on May the 6th. After that, we go to Eldora on May the 13th. Then another week off on May 20th as we get ready for non-wing cars or USAC cars at Knoxville on May 27th. They get another week off on June 3rd. They get back racing right back here at Knoxville. Winged cars June 10th. Non-winged cars at Williams Grove June 17th. And then winged cars again at Cedar Lake on June 24th. That is the current tentative schedule. But as far as what we have coming up, Zach, on Pitstop TV in general, here's another look at it. a lot of sports car racing coming up the next couple of weeks. I guess the usual amount, just kind of an off week for our stock car leagues. ARN is off on Sunday. A bunch of their admins and whatnot are headed out to Talladega this Sunday for the NASCAR Cup Series race. That seems like it might wash out into Monday. Who knows? And then, well, we have the All-Star race for NORA. We have tentative plans on Tuesday with BRB that are still under wraps. And then, look at that, Thursday comes back around, more GT3 racing.
GT3 Racing is back on Pit Stop TV, and you love to see it, Andrew. There's still so much to go over, so many great races that are coming up here on the sim. I'm so looking forward to it, and you can always follow along on pitstoptv.com, facebook.com/pitstoptv, instagram.com/pit_stop_tv, tiktok.com/pitstoptv1, twitch.tv/pit_stop_tv, youtube.com/pitstoptv1, and x.com/pitstoptv_. We've got so many different disciplines being showcased here on Pit Stop TV. You've got road racing, oval racing, dirt racing. I'm here for it every step of the way.
It's been a lot of fun, but that'll do it for us this evening from Knoxville Raceway. A good night of racing here at this half-mile dirt track. We will see you all next time. Hopefully, as mentioned, for the North American Racing League tomorrow night, VIR, a special racetrack for those special cars. Do not miss it. Tune in tomorrow night, and then again in a couple of weeks when we take these guys back out to Kokomo. Until then, thanks for watching. Have a great night.